It's time for another edition of Out and About with Jamie Grout. And if you're listening to this on Thursday, the 29th of May, then tonight is the first night for Music in the Park at Central Park in Grinnell. Now, it'll be held every Thursday night after that throughout the summer months. And we'll be talking with Monica St. Angelo, who is with the Grinnell Center for the Arts, who is the main sponsor for this and organizer for Music in the Park, all about that. And we'll also briefly touch on all the other things going on at the Grinnell Center for the Arts, too. Don't forget, you can check out the 5-minute shortcast video also on the outandaboutwithjamiegrout.com website and also on the YouTube channel. First of all, we want to plug our sponsors who are kind enough to help support the Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast. And Grinnell State Bank is with us and has been with us since the get-go. They have 4 convenient locations, not only in Grinnell on 4th Avenue, but also in Johnston, Marengo, and Polk City. They have convenient online and mobile banking services. If you're not a customer yet, get started. You can open your accounts in just 15 minutes. If you're not sure what you need, you can simply check out Simply Banking and open your accounts online or in person at any of their 4 convenient locations. Also by the fine folks at Who's Leading Who. It is your one-stop dog shop, building and preparing dogs to be their best selves. They have group obedience classes, private sessions, and they also have grooming for dogs and doggy daycare going on now at Who's Leading Who. Give them a call and find out more at 641-990-4672. That's 641-990-4672. And also B. Nicole's Salon in downtown Grinnell. They have adult haircuts, children haircuts, and senior haircuts, and they're all reasonably priced at B. Nicole's Salon in downtown Grinnell. Time for another Out and About with Jamie Grout, and this time we're going to talk about Music in the Park in Grinnell, and it's sponsored by the Grinnell Area Arts Council, and with me is Monica St. Angelo. And Monica, I don't know if you can answer this question, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it at you anyway. Do you have any idea how long Music in the Park has been going on?
I do.
Okay.
This is our 23rd year, I believe. That may include the year we skipped for COVID.
Okay.
Yeah. So I believe we started in 2002, or the folks that started it, which at the time was another organization in Grinnell.
Okay, and I don't know if you can name all the people, but maybe you can name some of the people. Who are the folks involved in all this?
In
Music in the Park.
Presenting Music in the Park?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, the Arts Council is the primary, we're the programmer.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are lucky enough to have some local sponsors that help us put it on every year. Our biggest sponsor being the City of Grinnell. And then Grinnell College and Grinnell Mutual are 2 other big sponsors. And we've got Jay's Deli, Ramsey Weeks, the Vinyl Stop, which is the great record store here in town, and then even some local individuals, Brent and Don Yeager, who help sponsor Music in the Park.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Who is the conductor for this? Who is the person that gets these people all practiced up and ready for presentation?
Well, I'm the one who books the bands.
Okay. So there's various bands. It's not just one municipal band.
No, so our community band, our municipal band, is a part of Summer Music in the Park.
Okay.
They have us, like, we call it their summer season.
Mm-hmm.
And that this year will be directed by Nathan Johnson, who is the new band director at the high school.
Okay.
So in the past, the high school band director who has left this past year was the one who directed Grinnell Community Band. Mm-hmm. And so, we have a new one taking over this year. But our first show, which is Thursday, May 29th, is the Iowa Women's Jazz Orchestra.
Okay.
So it's a big band. It's made up of women from around central Iowa who are all, interested. Their mission, I believe, is to really help encourage girls to go into playing jazz music. And we're just lucky enough that one of their percussionists is from here in Grinnell, and she is the art teacher for our elementary schools. Her name is Farron Johnson.
Farron Johnson.
Yes, so we've got a local connection.
Well, that's nice. So there's various different bands. Mm-hmm. Where do you find these bands anyway, Monica?
Well, I have a few people that I lean on for recommendations. I'm pretty always looking for someone. I'm always because I love live music myself.
Sure.
So whenever I'm out and about, I'm always like making notes on my phone about who I've heard, or if I see someone online that's local to Grinnell and the region, then I just make a list and I get recommendations from folks, and then I just start asking.
Okay, great. And so I'm assuming this is at Central Park?
It's Central Park.
Okay. And tell us the dates and the bands
Sure.
that will be presented for Music in the Park.
Sure. Well, we start on May 29th,
Okay.
and we have Music in the Park every Thursday at 7 through the end of July.
Okay. Now, if there's rain, is it canceled or does it move indoors?
At this point, well, it's not going to rain.
Okay. Do you have it in with Mother Nature?
I'm zipping my lips on that.
Okay.
I've just been very lucky. We, for the most part, would just try to reschedule, I think.
Okay.
Sometimes, depending on the size of the band, we might move into the art center here, but many of the bands are just too big to do that.
Sure.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
And if we go indoors anywhere else, we lose a lot of the audience.
Sure.
So really rescheduling is our best bet.
So you're just hoping for good weather.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry I interrupted. Go ahead.
No, it's fine.
You tell me about the bands and the dates and maybe if you want to elaborate a little on the bands and the kind of music they play and that
Sure.
kind of stuff too,
Yeah.
we'd love to hear that.
Well, like I said, May 29th is our opening concert, and that's the Iowa Women's Jazz Orchestra, a big band. They've got a vocalist, so I'm super excited. Tried to get them last summer, and we couldn't get a date nailed down. So I'm very happy to have them open the season. And then the following 4 Thursdays, so that's all the Thursdays in June, we have our Grinnell Community Band. And what I love about the community band, they play something different every week. They have a different program every week, but it's really just a cross section of our community who comes together to play in that band. You'll have 3 generations of a family playing in Grinnell Community Band. You have folks from, our senior communities all the way down to high school students who play together in the park. And it's just so much fun to see them all come together. And there's, 50 to 60 people on stage every week. So they will be playing all those Thursdays in June at 7. And then on July 3rd, and this is traditional for us, the Thursday that's closest to 4th of July, we have our local bagpipe band, the Turlocker Bagpipe Band.
How nice.
Yes, and they're local to Grinnell. They're headquartered here, and they're usually our biggest attraction all summer. And they always play a great variety of traditional Irish Irish and Scottish bagpipe tunes. You're always going to hear your Danny Boy.
Oh, sure.
But then they mix it up and they do a little bit of contemporary music as well. So it's really fun. They come marching in through the park and they put on a great show. So that's July 3rd. July 10th, we have Weary Ramblers, who are, I would call them like an Americana duo from Central Iowa. Actually, they've been hitting the folk charts quite a bit. They're really up and coming. I've seen them here a few times at our local, couple local places, and they're just fabulous. So Catherine Severine Fox plays the fiddle and many other instruments, and her partner Chad Elliott plays the guitar, and they're just a fabulous duo, a great night of folk and Americana music. On July 17th, we have Mojo Machine, who's a local blues band. Grinnell Institution.
Okay. I've heard of them before.
Yeah.
They've been around for a few years.
They've been around for quite a while, yeah. Some Grinnell grown folks in that band, and they're just always a lot of fun. On July 24th, we have Barefoot Becky and the Ivanhoe Dutchman. You may have heard of them as well, out of Mount Vernon.
I've heard of Barefoot Becky before because when I worked at the radio station, we had a real close tie with Meskwaki Bingo Casino Hotel, and they would have Barefoot Becky, and I guess they would draw in the crowds.
Oh, yeah, people come from a long ways away to see them. They're a great polka band, so much fun. They'll play all your polka favorites, and people are up there dancing on the stage and on the sidewalk, and so it's a lot of fun, and they're just a great.
You bet.
They're great. So. They're the second to last act of the summer, and then on July 31st, our very last Thursday, will be another Grinnell institution, which is the Too Many String Band.
Oh, I got to tell you about the Too Many String Band.
Okay.
Now, as you know, I'm working at WHO Radio now, and I've always wanted to work at WHO, and it's a dream for me. I'm not on the air much, but I'm on the air some with Jeff Angelo, and also with Emery Songer, some between 5:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. But a couple years ago, I was working at the radio station in Newton, as you know, and Maxwell Schaefer had posted about working at the Iowa State Fair and being on the air at the Crystal Studios there. And it was on Facebook, and I said, you know, my dream had always been to broadcast on WHO from the Crystal Studios. Well, unbeknownst to me, they were hard up for announcers on the weekend at WHO Crystal Studios. And so the program director there and another guy who I had worked with in Newton said, hey, you want to do a couple of hours at the Crystal Studio? And I thought, wow, this is fantastic. And I got permission from my boss in Newton to be able to do that on WHO. And so I was looking for some old school type radio things to do, because when I was a kid, there used to be a program on WHO, the Betty Baker Show, and it was with Dwayne Ellett. And people will remember Dwayne Ellett and Floppy from back in the day, but Betty Baker had Dwayne Ellett as kind of her sidekick. And they would have folk singers and bands and different things like that. And so I thought, are there any bands that are performing at the state fair? The Too Many String Band was performing, and so I got a hold of the person in charge of that and said, could you come to the WHO studio and perform for us? I said, the only stipulation is you have to have unlicensed music, because WHO does not want to have to pay ASCAP or BMI fees, and they said, we do have some unlicensed music in our repertoire. So they came over and filtered into our studios, and we had a heck of a time. Aww. It was like a hootenanny, an old-fashioned good time, and it was a lot of fun, Monica. It's great. Yeah. And I don't think I'll be broadcasting because I'll be behind the scenes, but if I ever get a chance to do that again at the State Fair, I'm going to have them there. And I know that the new Grinnell Museum, I had recommended to them when they do their ribbon cutting that they try to get the Too Many String Band to perform too, because they put on a great show. They do. And maybe you can talk a little bit more about them, but they're fantastic. They're fantastic. They're a wonderful group of people. They're local to Grinnell. They've been playing here for years, and they play so many events like that, like the museum opening. They play at the coffee shop Saturday mornings every once in a while. They're just generous and kind, and they play great music, and they play a real variety of again, like folk favorites, folk and Americana favorites. And you were talking about some of the other bands too that's a mixture of people, like the city band and whatnot. But this is also a mixture of different people too, from what I recall. Older, younger, people from, I don't know, Grinnell College people. Community people too. So it is really neat. Yeah, it really is. They have their core group, but then they mix in some folks who bring different talents, like one of our Grinnell College professors, Mark Labor, who is the saxophone is his instrument, so he'll sit in with them, and it's a great time. You bet. Yeah. So how much does it cost to get in? Well, nothing. Really? It's absolutely free? It's free. Wow, you can't beat that deal with a stick. Yeah, it's Thursday night in Grinnell. We have farmers market from 3 to 6, and then we've got a little break for you to grab some dinner. We have a couple local food trucks, and Hy-Vee, and of course Jay's Deli now is located right across the street from the park, where you can grab a sandwich or ice cream, and you just make a night of it here in Grinnell. What fun. Good times. So it's getting underway, later this week then? Yeah, huh? Okay. That's right, May 29th. May 29th, so Music in the Park, sponsored by the Grinnell Area Arts Council. And why don't you give those other sponsors another plug? Oh, sure, I would love to do that. City of Grinnell is really our presenting sponsor, and then we've got Grinnell Mutual and Grinnell College as very important sponsors to us. And then we've got Jay's Deli, who's new this year, having moved just across the park. Brent and Don Yeager, two local live music lovers who are, really invested in bringing this to the community every summer. And then we've got Ramsey Weeks, we've got the Vinyl Stop, and I should mention also we've got media partners. So the Grinnell Herald Register and Total Choice Shipping and Printing are both sponsors as well. Well, that is fantastic, and thanks for heading this up, Monica. Yeah. I'm sure you've been doing this a number of years now, and People really do appreciate it. It's for young and old alike. It's
That's
for
right.
families. It's good old-fashioned entertainment for
Yeah.
Grinnell. So
Yes.
come on out and have a good time. And as long as we have you here, the Grinnell Area Arts Council has all kinds of things going on. Anything else you want to plug that you have happening around here, Monica?
Sure, I could do that. The same night, just to make ourselves really busy. May 29th, we're opening a new exhibit in Stewart Gallery here in the Arts Center. And that is a beautiful exhibit of ceramic work by two local artists, Jess Leese and Kelly Maynard. They were inspired by Cornelia Clark, who for local Grinnellians will be a pretty well-known name. She was a woman who was a professional photographer at the turn of the 20th century. So early in the 20th century was quite unusual. And so they were inspired by her work for this show. So that opens May 29th as well, and it'll be open for about a month. And we've got some summer open reading events happening for Grinnell Community Theater. So June 14th, it'll be just a open table read of an Agatha Christie play that I can't think of. And Then There Were None. Is that right?
I'm a theater guy, and I know a lot about.
I don't have it right in front of me.
I know about the Mousetrap, and I know about Murder on the Orient Express, and some of those other Agatha Christie's.
I didn't bring the sheet.
No, that's fine.
At any rate, it's open. It's free. Just BYOB if you desire,
Okay.
and we're just going to hang out in our little theater and have fun reading a fun play.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. I had a good time talking to the cast, or some of the cast members anyway, of Rumors.
Yes.
When that was being put on there too. So that's fantastic. So Monica, thanks for all you guys do with Grinnell Area Arts Council.
Oh, well, thanks for helping us broadcast it.
Well, we love to spread the word, that is for sure.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Out and About with Jamie Grout. Make sure you check out Music in the Park Thursday nights throughout the summer months in downtown Grinnell at Central Park. Until next time, Grout is out. See ya.